Africa's fastest man, Ferdinand Omanyala.
Omanyala really powerful, but let's see if Fabodo's had a good start. Akin Blake as well, Johan Blake.
So it took me 6 years
to
have a breakthrough, and mind you, the breakthrough is 0.4 seconds.
What?
For 6 years. I am here today because of my mindset. You know what they say when they say when it rains, it pours?
Yeah.
That was what happened in 2021 because I achieved literally everything in 3 months. I had this dream of running a sub 10, but then I didn't know when it's gonna come. Problem here was waking up every day, go to train, and hoping that the next race you'll run a sub 10 from 2016 to 2021.
Wow.
So it was in 2021 that I achieved that success.
Welcome to yet another episode of OMG, another podcast. How have you guys been doing? I hope you've been well. I've been okay. Today's a special day. We have a special guest in studio with us. He needs no introduction, but I'm still going to try as much as possible. He currently holds the record of the fastest man in Africa in the 100-meter race, standing at 9.77 seconds.
That's right.
A personal friend and also a friend to the podcast. Welcome, Ferdinand Omanyala. Karibu sana, how are you?
Asante, I'm good. How are you?
Umepotelea wapi?
No man, nimekuwa mashughuli mob sana.
Gani is winning races, being at races,
making money. Yeah.
Hata unaka different.
Oh really?
From since nikumit unaka pesa.
Alisema pata pesa ujue sura yako.
I love that. So welcome to the pod.
Thank you.
Thank you for making time, for being here.
No worries.
I actually didn't think you were going to be around because you were at, what were they called? Where were you actually? Tell us where you are.
We just started preparing for the 2026 season, and it's intense.
Already?
It's intense already because based on my current coach, we've lost a lot, so we need to take time to build it back again.
Abu to pose hapo. So, umesema vitu mob. First of all, you're preparing for the 2026 season already.
Yep.
It's October. Love it. And then you said, based on your new coach. You're the news hapo. Tell us a bit more, because just before the Olympics, we know that you changed coaches. And now, are you saying that you have a new coach?
So before the Olympics, I made a switch. Of course, as an athlete, you need to, understand yourself, and we need to get better. As an athlete, I wanted to get better. I wanted to, perform, run faster. So that's why I made that switch. And it was a 2-year agreement that we had with the previous coach.
Your previous coach, yeah.
And the agreement ended. And, it's just not my decision alone. It's a decision of, because I am Omanyala, but there are so many people behind me. There's sponsors, there's the management, there's a whole team.
Yep.
Like
that makes it possible for you to be you.
Like, for example, like the last 2 months, I've had an injury, and my medical team has 7 people.
Yeah.
So you see, like it's not.
It's
I'm
not
the
just
one
you
being presented at the front, but
right.
There's a lot of people behind. So that decision came down to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to touch on this kidogo, and I don't know if you want to talk about it, but there was a lot of skepticism, especially when you made that switch. Especially just before the Olympics. And, do you want to talk about that? What was going through your mind? Why? And why now you've moved to a new coach? And is this your previous coach before the switch?
Yeah, the coach that I'm working with now, we worked with before. So it's just like Kurudi home.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so it was just basically like Kurudi home. But I don't want to talk so much about that.
Right.
Because the last time we did, and it didn't end so well.
No, it's okay. You can talk. Easy news. You can talk about what you want to talk about. Just wanted to get that out of the way because you presented it, no problem.
Yeah.
So now, I think we just all want to know your story. We've heard your story, but it's always different when you say it. How did you even figure out that you can be a sprinter? We are known in Kenya for long distance running, but not necessarily sprinting. So when did it switch at you ukafikiria, okay, I can actually do this?
So I'll take you back to high school.
Okay.
In high school, I used to play rugby.
Where were you in high school, first of all?
I was in French school Kamsinga.
Which is famous for rugby.
And basketball and hockey and every other stuff.
Exactly.
So I was there for 4 years. And my first 2 years, I was a sporty person.
Okay.
Because I loved sports. And for the first year, that was in Form 1, I tried basketball. I tried hockey.
Really?
Yep. I tried all these other sports. I even tried volleyball
Nice.
because I wanted to get a sport that I'll fall in love with. But then after 2 years, that was in Form 2, when you go for PE classes and, like when you get the field and everybody wants to rest, just the fun stuff. And then people realize this guy is fast. So at the end of the Form 2 class, there's interclass games. So there was rugby coming up. So the only job that I had was catch that ball and run.
And run.
Yeah, that was my job. And I did so well that we got to the finals of the interclass.
Okay. Okay.
And then I was
nice.
poached, not poached necessarily, but the coach of the school team asked me to join the team. And he promised to give me a bit of skills. And that's how I fell in love with rugby. I still love rugby up to now.
Yeah.
So I started now having this dream of becoming a rugby star because then Rugby Sevens was performing
It was
very,
very
well.
well. Yeah.
The likes of Injera and the stuff. So they were performing very well. So I had this dream of, getting to that height. So I started working so hard and getting those shifts in and getting those skills in. I played so well in my last year in high school that I got a call up to the under-20 rugby team.
Nice.
And that was a proud moment for me because now that was a step towards what I want to achieve in the rugby field. But then after that, of course, doing concurrently with my education, I was called to Chiromo to pursue Bachelor of Science in Chemistry.
In chemistry.
Which I am doing.
Unaimaliza?
I'll finish it by the way.
Okay.
I'll finish it.
Okay.
Ni ile tunajua sasa, we all do that.
You have
everything
priorities
because,
right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I joined Mean Machine, now the UN Rugby Club, it was a bit tough for me because the game is top notch.
It's high intensity.
You get 50 people trying to get the 23 number.
Yeah.
So when the team is being named, they only need 23 players. So they're like over 50. So it was tough. So I tried to get another club and I found myself in a club somewhere in Railways. And that's where I met this guy who told me, your pace is a bit too much for this field. Try sprinting.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, he was like, I think you're wasting your time here. Because I was an MVP in every game.
Because of your speed.
Yeah, because of my speed. So my job was easy. I didn't have to do much. Just catch that ball.
And run.
A bit of side steps. Bodies thrown left, right, center. And just run. So that was easy for me. And I told him, I haven't had any sprinting in Kenya. Like, does it even happen? So then I realized it does happen. And it does happen up to now. Anyone who wants to sprint, by the way, can just go out there, check on the calendar for Athletics Kenya, and every event is free.
Let's talk about it because actually when you came into the scene, that's when I knew we actually have sprinting, or we offer it, or we compete.
We do
competitively
We do.
Under that category until you came to the scene and now you started winning and you were like, hey, we actually not just about long distance running.
The sprinters have always been there. The problem is the times have always been a bit low. So the country didn't pay much attention. But the sprinters have always been there ever since, like, as long as 1972 Olympics, I think. So the sprinters have always been there.
Okay.
So the problem is we did not, break that ceiling of running the world-class times. So now that's where I came in.
So now, how did you even believe? Because, first of all, you're going into almost like uncharted territory. And anyone who knows you knows that you win. You like winning. Kitu unashinanga umesema. If you do something, you're out there to win. So I'm just wondering how you felt, and you were like, okay, let me leave rugby, a sport that we're known for in Kenya, and then go into this like new territory, and not necessarily we're known for winning, and you don't have necessarily like a mentor, a team tutapigia, like have you. So basically you are charting your own path, and you are like, I'm going to win.
It was a trial and error. I can say that it was a good accident. Because I didn't want to leave rugby, first of all.
Yeah.
I used to, like, if I'm training for athletics, I still go and train for rugby. The first 6 months transitioning into athletics was a bit hard because I didn't want to let go
of your rugby dream. Yeah.
But when I went for my first event, and I won with very bad technique, no starting technique. Like you just, get up and
Because
run.
of your instincts.
Yeah, just get up and run. And I now started shifting my mind into this thing that I think I will be good at. So I started now putting my head and my mind and my strength and everything into this sport. So that's why I am here today, because of my mindset.
How old were you at that time?
I was 20 when we started now focusing entirely on athletics.
Okay. Interesting. So at 20 you decide, okay, I still have my rugby dream, but
Yeah.
I'm performing well relatively in this new sport that I'm in,
Yeah,
which is sprinting.
yeah.
So my question is, how did you now decide to lock in and then now start also participating in bigger events? And then what was your breakthrough moment?
So it took me 6 years
Okay.
to have a breakthrough. And mind you, the breakthrough is 0.4 seconds
What?
for 6 years. Because it was, I had this dream. If you look at my posts in 2016, I used to finish with the hashtag of a sub 10. Sub 10 is running the 100 meters under 10
Under
seconds.
10 seconds, yeah.
So at that time, I was running like 10.4 seconds, 10.4, 10.3. And in sprinting, like even just reducing from 10.4 to 10.3 might take some sprinters 2 to 3 years.
Wow.
So I had this dream of running a sub 10, but then I didn't know when it's going to come. So the problem here was waking up every day, go to train, and hoping that the next race you'll run a sub 10. So from 2020 to 2020, from 2016 to 2021.
Wow.
So it was in 2021 that I achieved that success.
So your overnight success is actually 6 years plus
6 years
in the
plus.
making.
Yeah. But then you know what they say when they say when it rains, it pours?
Yeah.
That was what happened in 2021, because I achieved literally everything in 3 months.
That's when you actually broke the record and you
Yeah,
became the fastest
yeah,
man in
yeah.
Africa with a time of 9.77 seconds.
That was the time I made my first Olympic team. That's the time I started now, getting those history, being the first Kenyan to get the semifinals, being the first Kenyan to get a call-up. Not a call-up, but a lane in the Diamond League.
Oh.
That was the time that I got my first car.
Yeah.
That was the time that I ran the African record. And between that month again, that was the time I got my police job as well.
Wow.
That was the time that I ran my first sub 10 in Austria.
Beautiful.
So so many things happened within 3 months that I've been waiting for 6 years.
I'm even trying to unpack it, because at what point did you not think that I need to give up? Because 6 years, it's a
years
long
a
time.
lot.
6
6
years
years is a
in a
lot.
degree, 6
Yeah.
years a kid is in school. There's so many things. At what, you didn't think of pivoting into something else. You just kept on going.
So
What kept
funny
you?
thing, that 2021 year was my last year in athletics.
That's what you had decided?
Yeah. I was
Ulikuwa
like,
umesema ni hivyo?
manze, time ina move.
Eh.
My son is growing. Responsibilities zina pile up. Nimedefer shule because I was chasing this dream.
Una chase.
But again, nothing is happening. So 2021 was my last year, and I was going back to rugby that June. And it's in that June that I made history, being the first Kenyan to qualify for the Olympic Games.
Take me through your journey, because sometimes you start something, like,
Yeah.
even for example, for me obviously it's like the podcast, and you're like, oh my gosh, you're trying every day. You have to wake up, whether you feel like it, whether you don't, whether you see movement or growth, whether you see momentum. What kept you going for the 6 years? Because you were saying ulko give up until obviously you had your breakthrough. And I keep on joking and saying that you're the most positive person I know.
Yeah, positivity has carried me a long way, because there are those days that you just go back. I'll give you a bit of the story now. Between those 6 years, I was barred from competing and wearing the national vest for 3 years, since 2019. So what happened? I got a ban in 2018. The ban came about because I used a painkiller. I had a very bad back problem. And when the back, you understand the back. So the bones are pressing against
Each
so
other.
two of my bones were pressing against the sciatic nerve.
Oh, okay.
And when I went back, during that time, I was still staying in the hostel. So after training, went back to the hostel, and then while at the hostel, waking up after 2 hours, I couldn't feel my left leg. Like all of my left leg was numb. So we had to find a hospital. We got a doctor. She injected 2 painkillers. 3 months later, I get a call like, you have doped, you know.
Ooh.
So we try and get what's happening. And
Where would this come from? Because it hadn't even clicked that it was linked back to the...
No, so you see, when they call you, they're not telling you the substance that was found in your system.
Okay.
So they just tell you, you have doped, come for your letter. That was on Friday. And I remember I was with my brothers in a studio, we were recording some music. Everything stopped. Like everything stopped because now, this is my second year in athletics. What do you mean? So on Monday, I go for my letter, and then I realize the substance is betamethasone. So betamethasone is found in one of the painkillers. Yeah. So the case drags for a year.
In this time when you say the case is dragging, is it that they're doing investigations? You're also trying to prove your innocence, that, you know, I was in pain, this is what happened.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. So you're trying to, you know, how the system works. You come for your court case on Wednesday, and then it's adjourned to like another month because one judge is not there or one lawyer is not there. So it took 1 year.
Is this being tried locally?
Yeah, this local. So from 2017 to 2018 August. So all that time I was just hoping. I was training so much because I didn't know what to expect, you know.
So this whole time you're not thinking, okay, let me drop the thing. This is a sign. Niwachane na kukimbia.
No. Actually, I was training even harder. And the problem about that is, you know, when you're when you've been sanctioned and you've been provisionally suspended until your case is decided or ruled, you're not supposed to mingle with athletes. So I was getting the feel like at 5 a.m. and then do my session up to 9 a.m. before anybody else comes.
Why are you not supposed to mingle with other athletes? In case wapatie nini kenye...
You know that msemo that says, Nazi bovu, harabi
Harabu is enzima.
Yeah, so that's what it's perceived. So you're not supposed to mingle with the athletes. So I used to train like from 5 to 9. So when they come in, I'm not in. So
you're gone.
I come back later, like at 6 to 9 again in the evening. And then you see, I had deferred my studies to focus on athletics. So I did not have anything else to do. So it took that year, and then the case ended, and then I was banned for 14 months. So basically I'd served 12 months.
12 months already.
So now just extra 2 months. So that ended in November 2018. And I was training. I was doing my own time trials. In case there's a competition, I go and do my own competition and see where am I with these guys. So I just train. When people are competing, I have my own time trial. I do my training, I do my stuff, go back home. So it was a very hard moment because, you know, like you're punishing yourself. It's like you're punishing yourself because training is hard.
Yeah.
Like when you train, you feel like every organ of your body is feeling the pain. So then you realize, after the training session, you realize I can't even compete. Why am I even pushing myself this hard? But thanks to my coach, he was there.
Your coach was there, who was supportive.
Yeah, so he was like, you have to come for training. No, we can't lose this day. We can't lose this week. Just keep going. So that happened in 2018. Now 2019 was my year to, you know, come back and still compete. So then that 2018 December, the federation comes up with a policy that says any athlete who's ever been banned, it doesn't matter what reason you give, you'll never wear the Kenyan colors.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even think we know this. Okay, I don't know this personally.
So that policy was made sometime in December, and I remember the government backed up that policy. So it was now like a dead end for me. So I said, maybe I'll try and explain to these guys and tell them it wasn't intentional. This was a medical issue. It was this and this. The case is here. You guys can read the conclusions and all that stuff. And they are like, it's in review.
So another waiting.
So I didn't wait because they said, now you can't represent Kenya, but you can run in local competitions. So I could just go and compete locally. But then I was trying to push myself to compete and just make a name out of it. So 2019 came. I ran very well. In there was a team that was being selected to go to Japan for the World Relays. I ran a very fast time in 100 meters, 10.18. That was like a time that has never been run in Kenya, ever before that.
Yeah.
But then you see, in 100 meters, there's always a technical issue that they can put it on the time. So I'll explain. When you're running 100 meters, there's always a machine that takes the wind reading.
Yes.
So any wind reading that's above 2.0 meters per second, that's illegal. So let's say you run a world record, 9.56.
So that's why they always wait for that thing to ratify
yes.
it. Okay.
So if you run a world record, 9.56, and then the wind reading is plus 2.1, that's illegal. That's not a world record. So now, the guys who were there, they were like, we can't believe this time. So they said, it was a bit wind aided. So it was plus 2.3.
So they were like, oh yeah, now that makes sense.
Yeah. So that went by. Because I had met the team, they did not announce the team on the field. So they told the guys, let's announce the team later. So the team is named and my name is not there. And
this is you're making the team for
World Relays.
Okay.
To go to Japan. I remember it was in Japan.
And this time you still are not allowed to wear the Kenyan colors, the Kenyan flag.
Actually, that team I was thrown out a week to travel. They told me, you know about this policy? I said, yeah, so you can't travel with the team. So what you do, just go back to the camp and pack your stuff and go home. And that's what I did. I said, it's fine. Let's try and, just prove ourselves. Because now this was double punishment. You remember I'd already served that year. So this is now like a second punishment they're giving me. So 2019, there was an all-African team that was being...
Before you even go further, I'm just wondering, do you have any hope now for ever competing? Because if you're being thrown out of the national team a week two, what are you still
I think I was
pushing for?
I was so much in love with this sport that I didn't want to let go. Plus, I think God was guiding me because he was giving me all this strength. When I sit down now and remember how hard it was, a normal human being couldn't.
I'm telling you right now, ningekuwa nimequit. Unaona the 6-year wait, at least at year 3. Nisema nilijaribu and that's it. So for you to go...
A normal human being couldn't go through all that. But there was some strength in me that was waking me up every day. Go that field, push yourself.
And I think that's what I'm trying to figure out, what that was, because...
I was handling, a day at a time. Let's just deal with today. Whatever happens tomorrow, I don't want to care about that. Let's just deal about it.
But I'm showing up as the best way I can today, and I'm determined.
So days became weeks became months, and months became years, because this was 2019, between 2019 to 2021.
So now you're thrown out a week to
travel,
and then now what?
So I go back home, start training again, because now there was an African championship that was coming in. That was in March. So there was an African championship that was in April. So there was an African championship that was coming in July, between June and July. So I said, as we try to, prove ourselves that this was a medical issue, let's just keep training.
Let's keep showing up.
So then the trials, because the African championships team, it's invitational. So they invite the guys based on how you've performed that year. How you've
been performing, yeah.
Remember that year, I had the fastest time in 100 meters, yeah? So the list comes out at day 2. And my name is not there. The morning. And this is something I've been training for,
Why is your name not there? Is there someone who is like, adatwatu jinako anona fadi?
No, of course, you remember the policy?
Yes.
So the guys are like, we're still trying to figure
out how to even navigate this.
Yeah. So my name is not there. So what we did, I called my lawyer and said, let's try and get a court order.
This is the day before?
The day before the trials. We go to the SDT and we explain ourselves, and we mark this as an urgent call, and the judge gives us a court order at 8 p.m. So in the morning of the trials, I appear with my court order and my lawyer, and we go straight to the officials.
This is what the court has said.
The court has said, you have to allow me to run. Because my name was not in the list, and the hits, there are always hits. My name was not on the list, and there were no hits that was given to me. So they had to form a 7th hit for me.
So that you can have your...
So they just called up, anyone who wants to run, can you come and join this guy so that this hit can fill up? And there were like 5-6 other guys that came in. we did a run and ndo ujue shetani yani.
Eh.
Shetani alikuwa ameniandama mbaya.
Kwa nini
Because now,
nini ilitendeka sasa?
after that hit, going to the semi-finals, I pulled my hamstring.
Funny, as in story yako, every single point is like a spanner in the works.
Yeah, man. Hey, manze. Like it was a dark, you know, nanga ile dark cloud too over you know. So I pulled my hamstring and the finals is tomorrow morning. And I need to like show these guys that I'm real talent.
And the
manze,
reason why
real
you even
talent.
fought this hard to be here, hakuna venye sasa ati all of a sudden injury.
Yeah, so we try and
no.
get a physio that night. Tukarap mguu yangu like nikaifunga kabisa. So I came in the following morning for the finals. And you know the African Championships, the criteria for selecting is top 3.
And even then you didn't think, oh, maybe this is a sign. Again,
I need to leave. No, I didn't have that thought.
Because you're always so close.
And yet
Just
so far.
about.
And yet so far.
And yet so far.
So I didn't know that it will take another 3 years with all these struggles. So I go to the finals. My leg it tapped big time. Oh, I was telling about the criteria. So the criteria for the African Championships is always top 3, right? So I told myself, let me just try and see kama naweza kuwa top 3 with that injured leg. Nione kama nitakuwa selected, right? So to end up on the blocks, the gun goes off. I walk out of the blocks because I'm nafikiria tu about my leg. And then at 30 meters, I realize, Allah, this leg can, can wheel. So I start running. And then naenda napita wase, nikakuwa number 2, right?
What?
So si nafaa kuwa named kwa team.
Yes.
So time ya naming wakasema, 400 meters, I think this year we'll just choose number 1.
As in, mi ningeenda home. It is at this point. Okay, mi ningeenda home mara more, but
So that was,
ningeenda home.
yeah, that was the end of 2019.
Wait, and that was it, and there was no like.
There was no other event, because the other event was the World Championships.
What was the why? Do you know what the why was?
Policy. You're not supposed to wear the Kenyan colors. Yeah.
Because it's still under review,
Yep.
and they don't know how to navigate
Exactly.
around it.
Yeah.
And your name keeps on popping up. And
Because
your name...
I was the first guy out of ban into this policy. The other guy is coming behind me. So
it's quite fairly new. They don't even know.
They know how to go about it. So 2020, you know what happened. COVID happened.
Everywhere is shut down.
Yeah,
Are you still training now in COVID?
I was still training. I actually trained even more. I trained even more.
By the way, you know what I'm learning from you? Is I don't work hard enough for what I want. If I thought I want something, if I think I want something, I would I'll ask myself, what would Fadi do? WWFD. What would Fadi do?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so 2020, again, that was another dark year because COVID happened, down a job, you're just home, and kitu inafai kupe job. I mean, people are blocking it.
You can't even, there's nothing happening in the world. Everything
is locked down. Like, kila kitu iko shut.
Alafu una decide, I'm still gonna train.
Hiyo time tulikuwa tunaishi Huruma. So tulikuwa na train one of the fields that were Drago. So tulikuwa tunaamka hapo asubuhi tunavuta sleds. Sleds are those like unafunga and run with it. Tunavuta sleds, we do a lot of sessions hapo. I remember during that time nilikuwa nakimbia kutoka Huruma jogging, yeah.
Asubuhi.
Napitia all sops. Naingia Kasa. Napiga session. Nakimbia juu sina fare. Napiga session. Namaliza session. I remember food yetu ilikuwa soda ya 30 bob. So tunapiga session, tunaingia canteen
so
pale.
So hata nutrition haiko penye inafaa kuwa.
You just depend on cheap proteins like maomena,
mayai.
Yeah. So unapiga session, Kasa, unanunua soda ya 30 bob, you jog back home. Same thing. Like tukienda hills, we jog to the hill, do the hill. After soda, ikurudisha a bit of sugar, rudi home.
Discipline.
Yeah, and we were doing that Monday to Saturday. So wame lockdown. I remember walikuwa wamefunga all the stadiums. Tulikuwa tunaenda nyuma ya Kasa. We mark like 200 meters kwa lami. Tunapiga hizo sessions. Tunaenda home. I didn't know all these things were going to
compound.
To rapture in 2021. So me, I was just doing it. But then Kajambia, I think 2021 should be my last year because I've tried so hard.
And now you're being practical.
Yeah. So nasema, I mean, I'm getting older, and sijapata hii breakthrough, so why should I continue doing it? So nikasema, let me try and get other options, go back to school, try and do rugby. So that was myself thinking around that June, May. So it gets to July 2020 and I get a call from the then rugby sevens coach and tells me, hey, nimesikia hizi stories zako huku unafinywa and stuff. I want to bring you into the team.
Ukasema,
Mungu
praise
sasa.
God. Sasa
Kumbe mko unafunga huku ndo huku ifunguke.
So you were ready. Sasa ulikuwa kumbe God ndo najua.
Nilikuwa excited sana.
And this was your dream. Remember, this was your childhood dream now to be a part of your rugby team.
God wants me back to the pitch.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything else, kwa track is closing up, you know. So we start our training in November and, you know, I'm being paid to train. Now I'm not doing it for free. We were being paid 2,000 per day.
Sasa umetoka kushoka soda ya 30 sasa unalipwa.
Sasa chapa 2,000 a day and then these guys are feeding us, like they're giving us breakfast and lunch.
Oh, because also nutrition, obviously, as an athlete, that's one of the most important.
Plus, rugby sevens is one of the top teams in this country, so of course that's
it's supported. It's supported as a sport.
So nilikuwa napewa breakfast, na napewa lunch, na napewa fare. Hey manze, I pushed myself. Nili work hard kwa hiyo pitch. And I was doing my rugby training in the morning because nilikuwa nafika field by 6:30.
So hata ulikushaanza kutrain?
No, I started training in November. Yeah. So I was leaving my place at like 4. Nilikuwa naishi Huruma ndo nifike Ngong Road by like 6:30. So I used to train from 6:30 to around 1, have lunch and then back to Kasa.
Sasa unakimbia.
Athletics. We did that for 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Training like that. November, December.
Mr. Isaman kwa discipline tena chankwambie.
And you know, mind you, I still don't know if I'm going to compete.
You know, at no point in your story have you had assurances that you're going to compete.
No.
But you kept on showing up.
No, I kept on showing up. So nilikuwa najambia, my last year in 2021, I have to give it my all in athletics because I need to.
No, you're transitioning back to rugby.
Back to rugby. So ndo nikwambia shetani bado alikuwa ananiandama. So at the end of, before the month ended, you know, like there's a break for the rugby guys. So tunaenda holiday at Christmas. So the team manager calls me and tells me, people are complaining. You were just called here from nowhere. We want you to leave. And then
because you don't earn your spot?
Literally. So we want you to leave and play for a club. And you know, rugby sevens circuit starts in June. So go and play in June. And then we'll call you back from the club.
So when would you prove first?
Yes.
Isikae kama you've just been handed over an opportunity.
Yeah.
And then now after you've earned your stripes,
we'll call you.
Then we'll call you.
So this is another year because they call you up like in August, September. So nikarudishwa athletics, you know, by that. So in January, I never went back.
What are you thinking at this point?
I was angry. I was like, I've put myself into this space. I've worked so hard. I've gotten so many skills. I'm better than some of the players. And then now this, you know. So I said, it's fine. I understand what you're saying, of which it was a legit reason. So I said, they told me don't come back in January. Kwanza manze chapa inaenda kupotea tena.
First of all, sasa unarudile struggle ilikuwa.
But those guys helped me. Like, thanks to that coach, manze. Ali believe in me. I hope the whole team could. Maybe I couldn't. But mi usema, everything happens for a reason. Maybe God wanted me to go back to track. So that January, I remember, January 2021 on the 9th.
9th of January 2021.
9th of January, there was an event at Nyayo Stadium. And then I came in. I was so good, I surprised these guys. So I went there and ran 10.11, one of the fastest time that has ever been recorded that time of the month. So kukakuwa na story like that whole week. We were on media and people were wondering who is this guy who's running. So ilikuwa like open and it was posted everywhere and it was put on newspapers. That's how I did interviews with major TV stations in this country. And then after 2 weeks, there was another event. So nimejichocha sasa. I was saying nataka kunitambua. You remember when I told you this 2021, I was doing everything because I don't know if there's tomorrow.
And this is the year that you had decided.
If I get a chance to run, I'm going to push myself so hard. So I got a chance to run another 2 weeks. So I get the blocks and they tell me, hey, stop that heat. Omanyala, you need to leave. We need to consult with Wadosi, in quotes, for you to run. So the guys are going, I'm in the last heat. Like, if I leave here, I'm not going to run.
Then you're not going to run.
Yeah. They said, "Then we have been told and instructed that." So the guys who start the race, the starters, they say they can't start the race. You have to leave. So I left. And then trying to find the reason, they're telling me, when we give you a chance, you run so fast and attract media attention, and you're still reviewing your policy. That's the reason.
So basically, when I don't even
basically
know
they don't want you to run. Like, wamekwambia sasa we ishia tu. So I said it's fine. I left. I remember that day I felt so bad. You know,
defeated,
when like I went back home and tears were just flowing out, you know. Like, I have the talent. I have every capability to become
you have
to
the
raise
discipline.
Yeah. So at that time, pia nilikuwa na contemplate like changing nationalities.
Was that on the table?
It was, but then I was told you have to stay out for 3 years for us to review your transfer of allegiance. So I said 3 years, 2021, 2022, 2023. So maybe now this year, no, last year, Sasa.
Last year. Mm-hmm.
So maybe I could be representing. But
Another
now
country.
3 years waiting, you know. So that was all for me. So along as we were waiting, Nika tried police, by the way. I tried recruitment. I went for recruitment. I passed everything, medicals. I passed the, what was it called? There's this test they do. The fitness tests. I passed everything. So it was at 6:30. We were like 15 guys. So waiting for the letters. Because suddenly, let me try and just join the police. Sasa.
Obviously, because you're still thinking you have a family and need to put food on the table, have responsibilities, and nothing is working out. Rugby, umeambiwa hivi, sasa athletics wamekupoesha bash pia.
Yeah, so I tried at police. The letters came out. My letter was not there. So I didn't get a chance to join.
Wait, why was your letter not there?
I can't represent the country. How are they going to put me as an athlete in the police force?
Yeah.
So that was done. That was in March, I remember. So in April.
So you didn't get your letter for real?
I didn't. So I started merudi back to my life now. I mean, there's no police, there's no athletics, there's no rugby, there's no class.
So this is March?
This is March
2021.
Yeah. So along that month, there was an event that was happening in Nigeria. And then my time, of course, you remember when I told you it was like all over. So they had seen that. So they invited me to go to Nigeria and compete. And I said, why not?
But when you're going to compete, are you going to compete to represent Kenya or are you just going as Fadi?
No. You see, like, across the world,
there
are race organizers who organize events like the Diamond League.
Yes.
So you see, we don't run in Kenya during the Diamond Leagues. So we represent our sponsors and ourselves.
Okay.
So that was one of the races.
Yeah.
That is in that.
Is in that category.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they invite me, and when they invite you, they pay your tickets, they take care of your accommodation on the other side. The only thing you need to do is show up. I was like, now this is my chance. This is my chance.
You mekata kudipenda nyumbani. A prophet rejected at home.
I was saying nataka kwenda kuoff. And then sikuwa na expect that I would be treated the way they treated me. Because I got there and I see 3 SUVs waiting for me at the airport. I'm like, guys, man, you guys are treating me like this. Like, Kenya sahi wanataka kunitupata niende tu nianguke Tanzania huko tu.
Ujifiche huko ndo sirudi tena. Oh man, that's
so I get
that's
there,
sad.
I get like SUVs waiting for me, police escorts, kako hoteli. Because I'd run like, that was the fastest time in the world. Adi March, like I was still up juu. The 10.11. So I get to the hotel, you know, these posh hotels. I've never slept. Before that, I'd never slept in like that kind of a hotel. You know, I'm used to lodgings in Kenya because you have to look at your budget.
Your budget and...
I was used to like sleeping in 300 a day hotels.
Sasa huko ni celeb.
Huko mimi ni celeb, maze nimepewa room, nimepewa bedroom iko, I mean like no bedroom, but the hotel has two rooms.
So it's like a suite, it's a proper suite.
That's the word. Unajua time hata sikuwa najua kuna vitu ka hizo.
Sasa unajua sasa umekuwa celeb umefika, sasa unapewa suite.
I'm still surprised by how these guys are treating me, and then they bring in a coach and a physio. They tell me this is your physio, that the time that you're here, and this is a coach that will take care of you and show you around. I'm like, hey man, These guys.
This is nice.
And then the shocker that came in that night was, we need you for press conference tomorrow. Hey.
At this point, were you even thinking nitakuwa kwa press? Ama ulikuwa nafikiria, oh, this is an opportunity to race and that's it.
The way they're treating me, I'd never imagine I'll be like doing a press conference. For what? Like, for what? Why are you telling us? You know? So
hata una media prep, una nini?
Me, the only thing I said, I told these guys, the way you have treated me when I'm here, I'm going to give you guys a show.
Wisha mambo sasa.
I just told them that I'm going to give you guys a show.
And the media loves your especially your pre-race commentary.
So I gave them something to like publish and put out there.
Yeah.
So the race comes, the first race, like the semi-finals, because there was a semis and a final. The first final, I ran 10.01.
Wisha.
Kenyan record, qualifying time in Olympics. For the first time, a Kenyan has qualified for the Olympics. So the finals come, I ran 10.07. That was windy. That's why I told myself, I did justice to myself.
What are people saying at home?
So I'm coming there. So I did justice to myself. I ran 10.07, but it was wind I did. It was like plus 2.3.
So it wasn't ratified.
So it wasn't ratified. But the semis was okay. So I'm in the Olympics. So back home, every media now is covering that news. I remember it was on Wednesday. That night, it was one of the biggest shows in Kenya, and everybody was talking about it.
Breaking news, what's just happened?
Yep. A Kenyan has run 10.01. Managers from Europe are asking, who is this guy? The federation sasa wanaanza kupata pressure. So when I come back, Shetani. Yani.
Adi, ni kama Nigerian movie. Ni kama
My life is a movie, but I'll write a book.
I'll
put this in a book.
Okay.
So I come back, and then apparently Nigeria, there are two fighting federations. So there's one that was outgoing, and there was an incoming one. But the outgoing didn't want to leave office. So Athletics Kenya writes an email to Nigeria just requesting for ratification and stuff for this time. And then it gets to the bad guys, the guys who are leaving office. And they reply and say, that event was not even sanctioned by us. That was just a local event. Those times don't count. The field was not ratified and stuff. And that was what it was put out on media. Like that time, it's null and void.
No way.
Yep, that's what it is. Like, it's null and void. And
it's not even a legit thing that should have happened.
It might have been even 90 meters, not 100. I remember one person commented that. So I was like, oh man, so I traveled to Nigeria for nothing and everything has been wrapped.
Again, go back to...
Yeah, now back to me. The guy who just was before going to Nigeria. But one thing I told myself is, I believe in myself. I have the talent. So I will not care about the fights that are going on up here. My job is to train and show up every time I get an opportunity.
And whenever you show up, you're shining.
Exactly. So I have 2 months. 2 months. So during that time...
But even in these 2 months, you don't have the green light that you're going to compete.
Yeah, I'm going back to rugby in June. So I have 2 months. This was in April.
Okay.
So I was counting the days of going back to rugby. I had already even contacted a coach. There was a rugby coach that was waiting for me to give me all the skills to become that littlest winger. You know, like he wanted to give me everything.
Wewe ndo ulikuwa unajipanga sasa hivi ndo nitapivot. Mmenikata athletics ngojeni sasa.
Like coach alikuwa ashaanza kugather everything that will give me the training that I'll become the baddest winger in this IRB series. So tulikuwa tunaanza job in June. So namwambia coach, nimebakisha 2 months. Nakam. And by there, that coach, we should bring him one day. I'll say it. But yeah, so that was in April, right?
That's April, yeah.
So during that time, you know, as
2021.
an athlete, race organizers don't deal with athletes directly. So you have to have an agent. So I sent out 30 emails to different agents trying to just explain my story and tell them this is what it is. And I need to get some races before June. At least I make some money because I believe I'm in good shape. So if I can get 2 or 3 races, at least Tarani can make 50K or 60K, I can put them together. And, you know, when I transit back to rugby, I have something for kids and stuff. Only one came back. Who is also
They're your current
my
agent,
Yeah, current agent. He came back and said, no, I understand your story. I'll try and get you some races. So I got some races in South Africa. So I traveled to South Africa. Before I traveled, one of I always call him my destiny helper.
Yeah.
He called me to his home and told me, "You're going to run the Olympics." I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, "Do you know what we've been going through the last 4 years?"
It is not even just sports.
Of course, I'm not telling him, but in my mind, I'm like, does this guy really understand?
The magnitude of what you've been through.
Yeah, like we've tried everything. We can't even get into a trial for a team that's being selected to go and represent the country. And he tells me, he calls two people. So he makes some calls to like two powerful people, very powerful people in this country. I'm like, we tried all this. It's not working. The government is behind all this thing of policy and stuff.
Especially because of the policy.
So he tells me that night I'm traveling to South Africa. I go to South Africa, get a race. After 2 weeks, I ran a 10.06, still a first time. And the pre-trials for the Olympic trials was happening on the same day that I was supposed to run in South Africa. So after that 10.06, remember the calls that were made before I left? So apparently one call got to the head of state then. And then he was told, like, there's this very good sprinter, but he's being
So someone put in also like a good word for you to the current head of state at the time.
Yeah. And then now he calls the federation and tells them, if Omanyala is not going to represent us at the Olympics, I'm not going to sponsor that team.
Evo too.
So these guys are like 10 p.m. They're calling me, "Hey, Omanyala bana, umetuletea shida." I'm like, "Nyinyi ndio mmekuwa mnanisumbua for the last 4 years." Mimi nimesumbua mwingine.
Yeah.
There's a call that has come in. We're still having a meeting here to deliberate. So what I've been told to tell you, come back to Kenya for the pre-trials of Olympics. That was on Sunday. The pre-trials was on Thursday. So we tried to get a flight. I got a flight that jets back on the Wednesday. So I come back to Kenya on the Wednesday.
From SA.
Run the pre-trials. I won. So I've guaranteed a spot in the main trials.
First of all, usi glide over the fact that you won. You know, you've been trying to
No, it was, it was an easy win for me because I was like way apart. I'm way above the rest.
In terms of like just
times
how you're performing. Yeah.
Like competition in Kenya was no longer for me. Like
you had already transcended and now you were in
that barrier. I'm like running 10.0s and 10.1s. Those what.
And on average, Kenyan athletes were at where?
10.3, 10.4. That's like a 3-meter gap. Like I was way ahead. So that was an easy win for me. So I guaranteed a spot at the Olympic trials. So then everything else, so the federation tells now the guys who Unyese and the former head of state. So he tells them, the federation tells them, if everything Omanyala has run this year, we have cancelled it. If he qualifies here in Kenya, we'll put him in the team. That was in June. So that happens 2 weeks before the trials. So I think that was now a miracle that was happening. So on the 17th of June 2021, the Olympic trials for Tokyo 2021 Olympics are happening in Kenya, Kasarani Stadium. That morning, for me as a sprinter, I perform very well in hot environment. Like when it's sunny and
it's warm
and it's hot, I perform well in that environment.
June is cold.
Day, June 17th, kulikuwa na mvua asubuhi. And I have to qualify.
Maybe ningeka home. Ningeka home. Ningesema it's enough. I've gotten enough signs.
And then they have put a semi-final and the final an hour apart.
You don't even have time for recovery.
You don't have time for recovery. Like, after 1 hour, we need you guys back. And the cold room times, like before the preparations toward the rest, is like 20 minutes. So you have 40 minutes. So I ran my semi-finals and I ran 10.12. The qualifying for the Olympic Games was 10.05 then. And remember I told you reducing time in 100 meters is a very long time.
It can even take 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. So I need to cut from 10.12 to 10.05. Normally that can take like 2 years. But I have an hour.
You have 40 minutes.
I have 40 minutes.
You have 40 minutes because you have to go into the cold room, recover, and then get yourself together.
So before that final, I told God, this might be my last race. I appreciate everything that you've done for me over the last 6 years.
So you're even going with gratitude?
Yep. Because I knew, this is my last event. This is my last race. You'll never see me on track again. I'm done.
But thank
Next
you.
week, that was on a Friday. The Monday, I'm supposed to start rugby training.
Rugby training.
Yeah.
And you're like, but thank you, God.
Yeah, I told God, thank you for everything. You've made me nimepanda ndege at least in athletics. I've gone to South Africa, I'd gone to Mauritius, gone to Bahamas. I mean, that's enough. As I go into this race, just do God's will prevail.
May your will be done.
Yeah. So we go into the race. I was in lane 3, and you know the blocks that we start on.
Yeah.
They had no nails. So I don't know if it was
Sabotage.
Yeah, if they did it deliberately, because once you start, of course, I'm a very powerful sprinter. I'll push that thing and maybe I'll fall.
Especially your starting power.
Yeah. So luckily, there was a false start, and then I realized, hey, this block is not
faulty.
good. So I called one of the workers to go and bring a hammer and nails. Let's just nail this thing down, and that's what he did. And the gun was off, and the race was on.
So again, now that was God at work, because he ensured there was a false start for you to
for me
realize that there's
this-
a problem with the
yes,
starting block, for you to rectify it, and then sasa tuanze upya.
Yep.
Na kulikuwa kumenyesha.
It was cold.
And
So
you don't do very well, like you
I
thrive
don't do well
in warm weather.
I don't do well. And then plus I just ran 100 like an hour ago. So
Right.
of course your body's still recovering. So the race is on, and at the finish line, we look at the clock, it's 10.02.
Hii kitu unafaa kuifanya in 2-3 years, unaifanya in 40 minutes.
40 minutes, 10.02,
Oh,
the qualifying
man.
time was 10.05.
That is so beautiful.
The wind was legal, and everything was like point blank
Hakuna
out.
hakuna
Like
kenye
hakuna
wanaweza
kuficha.
tafuta.
The wind meter was there. The wind reading was there. Like everybody was seeing it, and it was live on TV.
Akiningelia.
No, that was a proud moment.
How did
And
you
that
feel after
I was
that?
happy. You should see that video. I was extremely happy. I was so happy.
Wow.
And that's how I got my name into the national team. My name was the first on that list.
After being kutolewa, kuchujwa last minute, and now you're number one on that
my name
list.
was number 1 on the list. We're going to Tokyo. Yeah, I mean that I remember that moment as if it was yesterday.
Is this why you are also very spiritual, like your relationship with God? If someone knows you, they know that that's something.
Yeah, because he's made me go through so much. And I believe he gave me this cross to carry because he knew that I'm capable of carrying it. And at the moment that I wanted to give up, he gave me strength to just keep going.
And looking back, that you don't think that was you.
No, that was not me. Man, that was not me. Even now, I feel like giving up. Sometimes I just tell my coach, I don't want to continue. I want to leave this thing.
So
But I
now
get strength.
you're a star, and
I mean, like, I feel like people really don't know that story. That's why, people come in with so much expectations. And it's sad because now I have to be patient with like 100, 200 million people. Then I was patient with like 4-3 guys because nobody knew.
Such an expectation. Because I was even telling you, it got to a point, Nilasha had to watch races zako because I was like, utawin.
Utawin. Yeah, so like the expectations right now are high, and so many people are with me in this patience that journey.
How do you handle criticism? Because one of the things that people have come back to you and said that you're too bulky for being a sprinter. Criticism obviously with your choices with your coach. Anakwambia retire sasa umezeeka uachie wengine. And also because to be honest, you have like elevated the sport in Kenya especially because now there are more people who are into sprinting and seeing a possibility. Also just across Africa, I feel like there's been a revival on sprinting. We can see especially even in Southern Africa, the Southern African countries. How do you deal with that criticism, like so that it doesn't get to you? And
so there's this one quote that I live by, and that quote has been carrying me for years, that says, I come from a humble family, a town with small houses and old houses, and I'm not here to compete with anyone. I don't want to prove anything to anyone because I'm trying to fight a battle that my parents never won. So that's something that I live by every day. And when I tell myself that, I realize that you're in this alone. If I retire today, nobody will pay my bill tomorrow. Nobody will take care of my kid tomorrow. This is on you. So I remind myself with that quote every day.
why.
Yeah.
So how do you also deal with the positives of the attention? Also, there's just a lot of scrutiny in your life, your personal life, what you're doing, who you're hanging out with. Hata sipendi kutembea na wewe, tukiwa huko nje juu, it's just a lot.
No, I
But
mean,
it's beautiful. But like, how do
yeah,
you also
it
deal
is.
with the opposite? Like, there's also just an overwhelming sense of love for
No,
you.
what people like is you smile at them, tell them kesho itakuwa poa. I meet so many people who tell me their stories, and I'm just like, I also went through very dark days and just hang on to that hope because you never know what tomorrow will bring. Just hang on there. So that's what people like to hear. And some just want pictures, takes like less than 5 seconds to take a picture.
You don't find it like it's too much? Ama sale
No,
hauna mood
no,
hiyo
no,
siku.
no,
But this
no.
don't kwa hujakuwa na mood.
No, I'm always a happy guy.
Yeah.
Ukiona nimejam, jo umenikosea vibaya sana. But I'm always like in a happy mood because I tend to spread it. Most of the time I walk into boardrooms, I walk into schools, houses, the mood is low, but it just lightens up.
Yeah.
I call that aura.
Fadi.
So I have to spread it to people.
No, but it's true. You do have
yeah.
a very happy spirit.
Yeah.
kusema kweli.
So that makes it even easier.
After 2021, though, you have not had very easy years, especially recently.
Yeah.
Even going into the Olympics, everything. What's happening there? Do you want to talk about it? How are you feeling about that? Because obviously now you're not performing at the level you are, and this is obviously not a criticism. It's something you've also come out to say.
Yeah.
But how does that make you feel, and what are you doing about it? And obviously it's also many factors. Do you want to maybe touch into that? Because sasa obviously when you umesema sasa ni millions, not just in Kenya. You have a global audience
it's
now.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
And some come into my inbox and just criticize me, but it's fine.
Weh.
So the last 2 seasons hasn't been easy. Coming from a season in 2023 that I ran 12 sub-10s in one season. And I was the first 100-meter runner in the world in 2023. Like I was my points were like number 1 in the world ranking. So coming into 2024 and 2025, where like 2025, I haven't had a sub-10. At some point after a race, I go back to my hotel room and I'm so beat up. Like I want to pack my bags and go back home tomorrow and just leave this thing.
Yeah.
Like I've had that feeling so many times these last 2 seasons. But I've always reminded myself that you remember why you started. You know where you're going, because my target is to have like a major global title. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's coming, yes, I believe it's coming. But with what price? Is the price that you're paying right now. Get all those losses. I've lost races. Like, I was talking to my brother, and he was like, this year, when you get into a race, like when you guys go onto your marks, I pray that you just don't be last.
Because he is an upcoming athlete.
Yeah. So they were just praying, I just don't get last position, because now top 3 was not guaranteed
Anymore.
So it was that bad. But then sometimes I feel like I just need to stop it and do something else. But I believe they still find me to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your career highlight, how you became the fastest man in Africa.
Yeah.
And I know that was September 2021. 9.77 seconds in
September
Africa.
18th.
And let me also just say that's such a big one, because right now there are many people gunning for that title
Of course.
in Africa. And actually, they're even giving themselves that title. Sasa,
Yeah,
unasemaje champ?
No, I understand. I understand them, because I haven't been among the... Okay, now I'm number 12 in the world, but haven't been top 5 the way I have always been. Because every year since 2021, I was number 1, 2, or 3 in the world. So... Of course, based on that and how the performance have been this 2 seasons, I understand why they tell me, no, this title is not yours. But that thing can never be rubbed off. I still hold the fastest
from the history
time
books
in Africa.
Yeah.
And I believe, and I'll say it here, that I'll break it before anyone else does.
Sure.
Yeah, it's under my fires now. They're still like motivation will die. Like I never had any. This year, ilifika point, I never had any motivation. I was just running. Because I just need to run, because I'm here, because I've been given a chance to run. But the motivation was out.
Was out.
I was just, like get to a training ground, just do whatever you can do just to end this training. So I was at that point. But thank God.
And that's not who you are truly inside.
Yeah, because people will see me and tell me, Manze Fadi, you're down. You can't see it, but they see it because they know who you are.
Yeah.
Manze, you're down. So back to September 18th, 2021. I remember I had come from a Diamond League in Brussels. And this is the first time Kenya is hosting 100 meters in the Kip Keino Classic, an international event. And I was at the warm-up, and then I was so excited because I'm running in front of home crowd, and I've been all over the world these past couple of months. Now I'm at home. I need to show these guys now. This is the real deal, man. And then I'm at the warm-up, and I snap my groin.
I don't think I know that.
I'm at the warm-up. We're so excited. I'm just warming up, and then my groin yep.
And then
the race is coming up in 10 minutes. And everybody in there, including the president, was there waiting for me. Everybody was waiting for Omanyala.
Yeah, see the star.
Yeah, we were waiting for Omanyala. We don't want to see anybody else. So I'm there with my manager and my coach, and you're like, what do we do?
Yeah, what do we do?
Because it was painful. It just came in it was painful, and then it disappeared. The pain disappeared. So my manager put me on a massage bed, tries to, just release this thing that has snapped in here. And we wanted to cancel. The guys are waiting for us, American
Again,
stars.
another opportunity, meaning in the home.
The guys are waiting for us in there, and my name is being called.
And of course, now you're the star of the show because sasa uko home, it's an international event. Kila mtu amekuja, sasa si lazima.
And my name is my song is being played in the stadium and at the warm-up area. And I'm here on a massage table, not sure if I'm going in that stadium. So the athletes are already in the call room. My name is being shouted on the mic. Oh, is Omanyala? Omanyala, wait. We are not living here without you. So
you make the decision.
We had a simple prayer and said, let it snap in there. Just go and just show up.
No, it snapped already.
What
more snapping do you want?
Yeah, so when a muscle snaps, that means maybe it's a cramp. So when you go and push it more, it tears.
Okay.
So we were at that place where this muscle will tear in this race. And it was not an easy race because it had Justin Gatlin, one of the fastest guys in the world. Trayvon Bromell had run 977 that year. And who else was in that race? There was Mike Rogers. The USA guys had come. They'd come. And now me.
And us too. When you take a too.
Me, I've told you the scenario that was hovering around that stadium that day.
But I don't even think a lot of people just cared about the Kip Keino Classic like that, but I cared.
Yeah.
That year I was like,
So we got in. The crowd was excited. People were screaming. Everybody was on his feet. Maviti zimekuwa moto. But I'm in the field. I'm just thinking what am I gonna do? So we go into your marks. The gun goes off. I got off the blocks well. But then at 25, 30 meters, I realized, again, you remember the story I was giving
yes.
this leg can wheel, man. This leg can wheel.
Tunaweza
kimbia. Now I started concentrating on the race at 30 meters. And I started chasing this guy down. And I did not expect any first time. I did not expect an African record. I did not expect a sub 10 that deep. So after we crossed the finish line, the clock was 9:76. 9:77, I think. So they were waiting for ratification. We waited for 4 or 5 minutes, just there, waiting. What's the time of this number 2?
So hata hakuna ku celebrate bado?
No, you can't celebrate. You haven't seen your time. So it comes, Bromell had 1 with 9:76, and then Omanyala number 2 with 9:77.
What was that feeling like? Because I remember the nostalgic.
You see the chills, you feel the chills in your body. That's how I felt. And then it took me 3 months to recover from that mentally. We went for vacations. We went different places. I couldn't recover mentally. For me, that was like a dream. I used to wake up at 3 in the night to pinch myself and look at my phone and see if this post actually is true. Is it true that this is me? on top of
Hauamini
Africa.
because of,
I-
especially after
I
everything you've been
didn't.
through,
Yeah, I
obviously.
didn't.
And
Like, I
the
couldn't.
injury also, you just gotten 10 minutes to
And
the
I remember
race.
that month we met so many people, but I can't remember any conversation we had with all these people.
You were just overwhelmed.
Because
with
I was
emotion.
overwhelmed. I couldn't, the days were just going by.
Mm.
There are like 3 days I couldn't even feel hungry. Because the days were just passing. I don't want to sleep because I might sleep and then wake up that was a very good dream.
Ama they do something. Unajua pia maisha yako
Eh,
imekuwa na
manze,
twist.
for me, that was unbelievable. And it took me 3 months to now chill, Fadi, this is you. Now absorb it all in. And during that time, again, is when I was given the police job. Now this time, handed over to me.
Here is your your certificate
chukua
actually.
manze, chukua hii paper. We want you in the force. So it was overwhelming. But again, I think God was preparing me for those moments.
I think it's preparing you for the responsibility of.
And I'm sure with all these things happening right now, I think he's preparing me for a very big thing that's coming. I just know what that will be, but I know something big is coming.
I wanted to say, I think it's also how you've handled your responsibility so well because you give back and you have a foundation now.
Yeah, I do have a foundation now.
The Omanyala Foundation.
Yeah.
Maybe speak about that, what you do through the foundation. And I feel like you're always just moving with so much purpose.
That's true. So the main aim for the foundation, you remember my story, like it took me so long to get where I wanted to get, but I don't want that for other athletes. I want other athletes to have that journey shortened. The only thing they have to do now is to just work hard. So the purpose for the foundation is to give opportunity to sprinters, the opportunities that I never had, and to bring money into their pockets because not just for the monetization part, I want it to be for all the sports because I feel like Kenya, there's a lot of semi-professionals that are in the sport. And
because they can't concentrate fully on the sport.
Yeah, because it's not giving it back.
Yeah.
So that's the main aim for the foundation. And we've started a couple of events, like the tennis stands. We want to grow it to something bigger. Next year, I want to do other sports as well. And just bring in opportunities, bring in viewership, bring in sponsors, and just to give opportunity to the young ones to get a better opportunity for them.
I think you're being humble. If everyone knows you, knows that you house athletes.
Yeah, I do have athletes in my house.
Unawapatia fare. Una share now much.
Everything, yeah.
Like your match, you share with them. I mean, like that takes, I feel, and I'm just saying this as also someone who knows you, like it takes a certain level of selflessness and just, really caring about the ethos of why you do what you do.
Yeah, God knew what responsibility I'll take on as I get to this level. And he knew, and he saw my heart.
Yeah.
And every day my mom tells me, you have a very good heart. That's why you're carrying so many people on your back.
How has the sport in Kenya, and sitaki kuingia too much into politics, evolved, and especially when it comes to funding and supporting of athletes, because there's also another big race where literally you didn't get your visa until there was uproar on Twitter.
Hey, manze kitabu yangu itakam. That's another whole chapter.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to defend them. I'm not going to defend the government because we are slacking so much in terms of support to our athletes. The government will come in a month to the Olympic Games, a month to the World Championships. I wish that they could have walked the journeys with athletes. Start with them from now. Now is when the athletes are preparing. Of course, next year there's the Commonwealth Games. We already know we're going to make this team. Why don't you just put this team into a camp or maybe support them from now? You can't bring a psychologist a month to the games. You can't bring a nutritionist a month to the games. It's not going to make any difference. So the government is always there when we are in camp and traveling for events. And they are not after the events, like the World Championship that just ended less than 3 weeks ago. Those athletes, where are they? Do we have a follow-up for these athletes? No. Do we even know the medalists? What are they doing in their next steps? We don't. that's why we end up having these issues of athletes mismanaging funds even. Why don't we give financial advisors to these athletes
Right.
as early as now before it gets to a place where we can't even control it? So I feel there's a lot that needs to be done in terms of sports in this country. If at all we want our kids to embrace sports as something they can depend on
Yeah.
in their lives. If we don't want that, then it's fine. Let's continue doing what you're doing. Let's continue taking the teams up a month to, bringing psychologists 3 weeks to. Then we'll
That
not
won't have real impact.
We can't compete with countries who, there's a country that's preparing for the Olympics now.
Right.
3 years from now, there's someone who's in camp being trained for the Olympics 2028.
They even have junior teams.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's no follow-up. It's sad that some teams sleep at the airport because someone in procurement is not paying these flights the way it's supposed to be paid.
Accommodation for them so that they can.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's sad for us as a country, and we have so much talent.
That breaks my heart to hear. I think just to kind of wrap it up is what is next. Umeambiwa retire venye ulikuwa unasema.
I'm still very young, baby.
Unaambiwa miaka zako ni kubwa sasa.
Yeah, I know.
But like genuinely, do you want to share maybe a glimpse into what's next, what you're planning, what's for the future, if you want to speak about that, obviously?
I've learned in athletics that I need to handle a day at a time. So, of course, we have our calendar that's coming up for 2026. But for now, it's just to get through these 3 months. And you remember I had an injury. So we're just trying to, like, get it better so that I can be fully fit when I'm coming back to the field. So for now, I'll say a day at a time.
A day at a
A
time.
day at a time, yeah.
Champ amesema msimarakishe yeye ndo ata decide when is when. I want to do a quick fire, rapid fire question.
Yeah.
And then we can wrap it up. But so what's your favorite pre-race meal?
I wish I could say ugali, but no, it's hard to get ugali maju. So not specific.
Kwanza kuna time ulisema ugali and then watu walikuroast na walisema ndo unakula ugali unaunga.
No, one thing, I mean, like, you've met me, the guys who are in this room have met me. I don't look that big.
No,
the
in
way
person.
I look on screens. But there's, nimeambiwa hiyo sana. Kuna jamaa aliniambia nimenona. I was like, do you know, msa amenona hizi kimbia 10:09 kwa 100 meters.
Yeah. You're just chiseled.
Yeah.
Who would win a 100-meter race between you and your younger self?
Of course, me.
You and 21 self.
Yeah, my 21 self didn't know anything about technique, didn't know anything about starting, so...
Even when you were, like, breaking the record, all that?
No, that was, like, 6 years later. But my younger self, like 2021, I was pathetic, man. I watch my videos and I'm like, no, this is not me.
Okay, you
But
now and you in 2021.
Hey, what 2021 hata nipiga vibaya.
That's funny. Okay, so what's your pre-race ritual?
None, because what happens if you forget to do it and you're on the blocks? So that will mess you up. So I don't have any ritual that I do before.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. There's this thing that you do. Kwa line na watu wanafanya.
Yeah.
What do you do? What's that? What does that mean? And what do you do? Abu tufanyie kwanza and then you tell us what it means.
So I'll give you a bit of history about it. So we were at the Olympics in 2020, and then one of the coaches told us, the moment that camera comes on you, that's like your wedding. You know, the whole world is watching you. I mean, so many people are watching you. So try and do something. So I went back to my room. I was like, let me think about something. And then I said, yeah, so I always do that. So that means I don't fear anyone on my left or right. And then I take the flag, I roll it up, bring it back here. And then there's that. I mean, I'm just focusing on that finish line.
So the Kenyan one, you're patriot, you're Kenyan patriot.
Yeah.
And then you're focused.
Focusing on a finish line. And then there's that creates a C. That's a cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest animal. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, nilikuwa na interpretations zangu sitakwambia baadaye. Kwanza hiyo nilikuanga and I was like, watch this. Mimi nilikuwa nafikiria kwanza the last one where you do this I was like, watch this.
No, that's a cheetah.
Okay, best time to work out, in the morning or in the evening for you?
I don't have a specific because most races are done at night. There's a race that's done at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So if you have a preference, let's say you prefer working out in the morning, there are those races that happen in the morning.
Okay.
So you can't have a preferred time.
Best country you've raced in?
There's many.
Okay, examples.
Really. Africa, it's a continent I know, but racing in Africa is always
You feel like
something
you're
else.
home.
Yeah, like I pick up so many fans in Africa. In the US again, I love that place.
They
'Cause
love
most
you.
of my races are always good in the US.
Okay.
In Europe, I love France. I love Monaco. And Austria.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
I mean, Austria
Austria.
is always like home.
Okay.
For me, every time I
Okay.
go back to Austria, that's always like home. The other side, no, China was good as well. China this year was good. So basically the whole world, let's say that.
You're a global citizen.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Fadi, for being here.
You're welcome.
For even like telling us like proper inner details. Any parting shots? Because for me, I've just learned so much: discipline, persistence, believing in God, trusting in yourself and your talent, showing up even when it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But do you have a parting shot, especially for those who are looking up to you, who are coming into sprinting, that now that you've shown them it's possible, then obviously you even want them to do better?
Patience, because we're in a generation where we want things instant.
True.
We get into a field and we want to be successful in a month or two. I think that doesn't happen. For me, based on my experience in life, good things take time. So just be patient. For the athletes who are coming up, consistency is key. And there's no shortcut. I know there's a lot of rumors out here that the USA guys or the Jamaicans or the guys from where are using other stuff like scientific stuff and that. There's nothing like that. You just have to work hard. You just have to work hard. You have to push yourself. You need to get through that pain threshold that your body can handle for you to get to the other side.
Right.
The other side, I mean, the successful side. So you just have to work hard.
Sure.
Most athletes don't have that. They don't know how to handle the pain. Anafanya rep moja or 2 reps and he's out. He said, I can't continue. For us, elite athletes, we vomit there and still continue training. So that's how hard it is. So for the athletes that are coming up, consistency, the discipline as well, because there are so many talented guys out here. But the things that bring the difference is the consistency and the discipline. And my best one, never give up.
Never give up.
Never give up because you don't know what tomorrow holds. Never give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And just be positive as well, because the positive mindset gives you a lot of energy. Negativity drains you big time.
Yeah.
So just be positive and never give up, man. Never give up.
Thank you, Freddy. As I always call you the most positive person I know.
Yeah.
Never give up. We've been told. Thank you so much again for being a part of the podcast. Thank you
You're
as well
welcome.
for listening into this episode. I've just been so challenged. I've just realized, hey, me will give up, Basi. But thank you so much, obviously, to our amazing studio partners, Highway Studios. Make sure that you follow us on social media as well, on OMG and other podcasts across all platforms, and watch the episode on YouTube, Spotify, and also Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. Until next time, Santi Fadi.
Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you.